Guru Sri Juta Padakamalang.
Hare Krishna. Welcome to our channel, Bhagavad-gita. Here it is, because we have it, Bhagavad-gita as it is, translation and commentary by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And my name is Labangala Tika. So we have come to the 8th chapter, Attaining the Supreme. And that is actually quite fantastic. I know we've been saying that over and over again, that Bhagavad-gita is not just a religious book or a description of rituals or a theoretical, or how to say, abstract philosophical construction. It is a description of reality, but it's not just a description, it is also a method, a process, how to actually attain that stage. And in this chapter, Attaining the Supreme, that becomes extremely prominent and obvious. And today we are starting with text 5. And if you like to learn some of the core verses by heart, this certainly belongs on that list. Antakale chamam eva smaran muktva kalevaram ya prayati samadbhavang yati nastyatra sangsayah. And whoever at the end of his life quits his body, remembering me alone, at once attains my nature. Of this there is no doubt. This is Krishna speaking. So this is not some vague hope. This is very, very clear, very practical. And I will read the purport. In this verse, the importance of Krishna consciousness is stressed. Anyone who quits his body in Krishna consciousness is at once transferred to the transcendental nature of the Supreme Lord. The Supreme Lord is the purest of the pure. Therefore, anyone who is constantly Krishna conscious is also the purest of the pure. The word smaran, remembering, is important. Remembrance of Krishna is not possible for the impure soul who has not practiced Krishna consciousness in devotional service. Therefore, one should practice Krishna consciousness from the very beginning of life. If one wants to achieve success at the end of his life, the process of remembering Krishna is essential. Therefore, one should constantly, incessantly chant Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Lord Chaitanya has advised that one be as tolerant as a tree, tarora pi sahishnuna. There may be so many impediments for a person who is chanting Hare Krishna. Nonetheless, tolerating all these impediments, one should continue to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So that at the end of one's life one can have the full benefit of Krishna consciousness. Yes. Whoever at the end of his life quits his body, remembering me alone, at once attain my nature. Of this there is no doubt. So, Prabhupada reminds us to be practical, to not just take this as some poetry, but to actually think of it. So, everyone may not have followed us from the beginning. It's quite possible to go back. I made playlists for all the chapters because YouTube, it's very difficult to find old things. So I made that. But when we go from the beginning, we start from the point where Arjuna is confused about what is what he should really do with his life and why. And then Krishna starts by establishing the nature of the soul as spiritual, eternal, and different, separate from this material body. And then he goes on to state that the nature of the soul is that it is a servant of Krishna. So both those, the spiritual nature and where we belong, that has been established already. And we have taken our time. We have gone through so many yoga processes and so many of Arjuna's doubts. So, of course, before we want to establish how to do it, what to do, is we want to establish why to do anything at all. So if our nature is spiritual, if the soul is Satchitananda, when we're in connection with Krishna in loving service, that is perfection. That is what we want. So now we're figuring out how to do it. At the end of life, if you quit your body remembering Krishna alone, then we attain him. And that means attaining his spiritual abode, attaining the eternal existence of Krishna. And how to do it is by remembering Krishna. And then sometimes I get this doubt that, well, that sounds too easy. It sounds like you'll be able to cheat. You can live your life any which way, and then just at the time of death you'll just think of Krishna and you're fine. No karma will touch you. You will just go back to the spiritual world. It's not really very easy. Dying, most of us do not remember dying. All of us most likely have died in previous lifetimes. Some people even have these near-death experiences, which are quite confusing. It's quite confusing. We think that we know who we are. We don't even consider it. We lift our hand to bring something closer, or we take some steps with our legs. It's not that we consciously have to think, oh, hand, go over there, or something like that. It's just immediate. It's just natural, because we are so ingrained in this body. The identification is so strong. We hear with our ears, we speak with our mouth, we see with our eyes. We don't even consider it. But actually, factually, the soul is separate. And at the time of death, it is also separated. It is pulled away from this body. And at that time, to even remember anything at all except fear and confusion is not very easy. And to remember something with which we haven't been intimately connected throughout our life is practically impossible. We hear about people who run into some accident or have a big scare, and they're calling out for their mum. And what is their mother going to do for them? But that bond, that relationship is so strongly established on a subconscious level. When we were little, we would always turn to our mother. And then when that fear comes and shakes us up and we can't really think logical, then that springs up, that natural shelter. So the challenge in this life is to make Krishna that natural shelter, so that whenever something occurs, we will naturally turn to Krishna. We can read the Krishna book when the inhabitants of Vrindavan, they had these daily scares from the demons who were sent there by Kamsa to kill Krishna. And so many very unusual things happened. And then the inhabitants of Vrindavan, they did not worship Krishna as God. They did not put him on a pedestal and look up to him as the creator of the universe and the Lord and Master. They just loved him as their beautiful cowherd boy in the village. They laughed at his antics, and they endeavored to please him in different ways, and to be with him, to play with him, or to feed him, depending on their different moods. And as soon as some things turned dangerous, naturally they would turn to Krishna, because that was their natural shelter in every respect. And that's where we want to come in this life. That to remember Krishna, we have to kind of know him. We can't remember something that we don't have some connection to. So that's what we do in this life. We hear about Krishna, we serve Krishna, and Prabhupada is of course stressing the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, because that's Krishna's special gift to us in the form of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He has gifted us with this mantra. It's called the Mahamantra because it's the greatest mantra. It is very powerful, it's very transcendental, and Krishna has personally placed his Shaktis, all his powers in it. It's actually Krishna himself. Krishna and his name, they are non-different. Krishna is absolute. So if during our lives we can develop this very strong habit of turning to Krishna in the form of his holy name, then that's most likely what we will do at the time of death also. So this practice, we want to do it both from quantity and quality. We want to chant purely. We want to chant with our heart. We want to chant with concentration. We want to chant in the attitude of personally approaching Krishna. But we also want to chant as much as possible. So when we take initiation, we take this vow to chant a certain number of rounds on our beads, on our prayer beads, on our japamala, which looks like this. We have a specific bead that sticks out. It's the Krishna bead, and then we have 108 beads that go around, and on each bead we focus by the touch of our fingers, by the pronouncing of the sound, by hearing the sound, and by focusing our mind on that. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And then this round has 108 beads, and the vow of an initiated disciple in the disciplic succession is to chant minimum 16 rounds, which is around 1.5 to 2 hours, something like that. And if you're a beginner, it's better to start with a smaller number of rounds that you can easily fit in your day, and then when that becomes natural, then add a little bit. And also, if there are festival days, if there are days with nothing special happening, one can also add as many rounds as possible. So then we focus both on the quantity, or how to say, the regularity, the steadiness, to every day have this chanting as part of the day, and also on the quality of actually endeavoring to hear it, because it's not so easy to fix the mind. When they speak of meditation on the nothingness or the oneness or the light, or how do you fix your mind on that? It's practically impossible. And even when we have something as lovely and uncomplicated as the Hare Krishna mantra, it still becomes a little difficult. So the mind will wander, and then we will say, oh, I'm not hearing now, I'm not concentrating now, I'm not turning to Krishna now, and then we bring the mind back and we continue. So Prabhupada, his purport is not very long, and he manages to remind us of the Hare Krishna mantra 2 times throughout this purport, which is very good and very natural, because this chapter is very practical. This is how you do it. So the most important part of how we do it: how do we remember Krishna? How do we develop our relationship to Krishna? How do we wake up the original consciousness, the original awareness of who we are, and especially who we are in connection to Krishna? It all starts with the Hare Krishna mantra. Of course, the Hare Krishna mantra was given by Krishna's most merciful incarnation, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who came to this planet just 500 years ago, because he saw that without some special intervention, it would be very difficult for us living in this age to take to spiritual life at all. So he gave us a very easy process, and he came himself to get it started. All of that is described in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, the book about his life and his philosophy, that sometimes we have an occasion to bring up some parts from that, but read your Bhagavad-gita, study your Bhagavad-gita, but look forward to reading the Chaitanya Charitamrita as well, because it's really quite amazing. So that's what we're focusing on in this verse. Krishna is saying that there is no doubt that the person who remembers him at the time of death will attain him, will attain his nature, will go back to the spiritual world. So I feel that I say this quite a lot, but if we want to take one verse very seriously to our heart from the Bhagavad-gita, this is a good one to focus on, because it's not just a theory, it's not just a hope, it's not just something very, very distant, very far away. No, Krishna is personally speaking to Arjuna, but in doing so, he's leaving this message for all of us. And he's personally stating and guaranteeing that if we can remember him at the time of death, then we have actually attained the perfection of this human form of life. Now is just the question of how to do that. And Prabhupada is recommending the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. And just by thinking about it, we can understand that if we want to attain that level at that time, then we also want to attain that level before that in our life, because we dying, leaving this body, that just happens once. But living, we're doing it every day, all day. And the life of a human being is actually meant for self-realization, and self-realization actually means realizing who we are. We are that spirit soul, eternal, full of knowledge and bliss, and always connected to the Supreme Personality of Godhead in loving service. So it kind of behooves us. It's kind of when we wake up to who we really are, that will be the natural step for us to take. And also, not just that it's, how to say, it's beneficial for us. We're living in this material world. It's a little bit, Prabhupada sometimes says, make a good use of a bad bargain. Material world is a bit of a bad bargain, but we have the opportunity to turn to Krishna. So that's in our interest to come to our own, like how to say, level of completeness. But it's also in Krishna's interest. Krishna actually likes us. Krishna loves us a lot. And we're here in this world, and he respects our choices. He set it up in such a way that our activities, our direction, it works. This existence in this material world, it works. But it's like it's not the best we can do. So this verse, it gives us an opportunity for the best we can do. So why not give it a serious try? Thank you so much. I've left, as I said, some links for the playlists for each and every chapter in the little box beneath. There are some more information, and please leave any questions and comments you might have. I'll come back to them and answer them as soon as possible. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you for watching. We aim for updates every Tuesday and Friday. Please come back. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down there. We also have some links and information for you. And there is, of course, the subscribe button. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
I'm a Hare Krishna, and I approve this message. Subscribe.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.